Hey guys, YouTuber100 here. Alright, and now continuing with my Star Trek movie reviews. Now here I am with the review for Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Oh, this one was bad. I mean, just wow. This one was just really, really terrible. Seriously, the plot for this movie is really ridiculous. The jokes are dumb. The characters really are, like, the acting really isn't very good. Just, yeah, there was just so much stuff that about this movie that is just bad. Seriously, I would have to say that this is probably the worst Star Trek movie out of the franchise, even worse than the first movie. I mean, seriously, this just movie has just some really terrible jokes, and the humor is just like really lame, and this plot for it is just like ridiculous, and it's silly, and just, oh man. Yeah, just like, this movie is just really, really, really bad. Really, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, this movie is like, says, filled with dull action sequences and an underdeveloped storyline. And yeah, it really is like that. This movie is just like really badly put together. And just a really, like, really pretty, I don't even know, just bad movie. So, yeah, this movie was under the direction of William Shatner this time, rather than Leonard Nimoy. And I think this just goes to show that not every actor is cut out for directing. Because I just really don't know what William Shatner was trying to do with the direction of this movie. Just, some of the things in this movie are just, ugh. Seriously, I kind of, like, really don't remember really a lot from this movie. You wanna know how bad this movie is? The thing I remember most from this movie is row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Yes, that is what I remember most from this movie. That's how bad this film is. Oh man, and plus, like, just some of the things in this movie are just, really have, at one point there's like the 50-something-year-old half-naked woman. Like, what? Just seriously, what the heck was that? Yeah, and the plot for this movie really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Or, like, the storyline for this is just, like, kind of like, what? And it's, like, the thing with this movie, it's, like, never touched upon again in the following movie. And just, like, this is, like, something that we just, like, it happens in this movie, and then afterwards it just, like, is never mentioned of again. So, yeah, pretty much like a pointless story for this movie. And, yeah, I remember, like, before I watch any of the Star Trek movies, this was the one that I was actually, like, kind of curious to see, because growing up, like, I saw, like, the Eddie Murphy movie, Daddy Daycare. I don't know how many of you have actually seen that movie, but, yeah, one of the characters, Marvin, he's kind of like a Star Trek fanatic, and at one point, like, when they're closing down the daycare, or supposedly, he brings up that it's worse than when Spock betrayed Kirk in this movie. And yet, Spock doesn't betray Kirk in this movie at all, so, yeah, I don't know what that was about in that movie, but, yeah, anyway, yeah. So, yeah, there's no betrayal with Spock and Kirk in this movie at all, so, yeah, that's kind of like falsely advertising there. But, yeah. But, yeah, the premise of this movie is just really dumb, and, yeah, I just really don't know what I can really say about it, because it's just, ugh. Yeah, out of all the Star Trek movies, this is probably the one that I'm least likely to watch again. Because I just really don't think that this is really worth watching over and over, because, this is just a bad movie. So, I would give this movie probably 1.5 stars out of 4. I mean, yeah, it's just like that bad of a movie. So, yeah, I'm probably not gonna talk too much about this movie because, quite frankly, you really don't remember a whole lot from it, like I said. So I'm probably just gonna, like, really just skim through, going through the plot of this movie. Probably just skim right through it. Alright. So the movie opens with, like, a scene with a scavenge on Nimbus 3, and it's showing that there's like a Vulcan named Cybok that has the power to like erase, like make people will like forget things or something. Yeah, I'm really not sure what it is, but yeah. And then it's showing that like Kirk, Spock, and McCoy are like spending a vacation down at Yosemite National Park or something, and it just like wastes a bunch of time with like Cybok on like taking like a bunch of other like aliens hostage, like with the Klingons and the Vulcans, and just yeah, basically a lot of other life forms like that. And it also like just shows like just a bunch of pointless stuff with Kirk, Spock, and McCoy in the park. And yeah, it's just like it takes like 30 minutes really to really get anything with the Enterprise. So yeah, yeah, and then guys like Kirk, McCoy, and Spock are like sitting around the campfire. They then start singing "Row, row, row your boat." Like seriously, this isn't a Star Trek movie. Ugh. And eventually, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I am watching the Diamondbacks game in the other room. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, the Enterprise. Yeah, I'm sorry you had to hear that. So yeah, they get interrupted by the Enterprise. Well, no, the Enterprise gets interrupted by uh, them, and yeah, they're ordered by the Starfleet command to rescue like the hostages on the Nimbus 3. And then once like the Klingons learn about the Enterprise's mission, the Captain Claw then like tried to pursue Kirk for glory. And then like eventually like the Enterprise crew on Nimbus 3 discover there's Cybok, and it's later revealed that Spock is actually like Cybok's half brother. And yeah, and it's eventually revealed by Cybok that the hostage situation was just a ruse to lure a starship to the Nimbus 3. And then Cybok, like, he wants to use a ship to reach the mythical planet Sha Kari, where, like, the creation began. And, and then, like, Cybok uses, like, his ability to reveal and heal innermost pain of a person through mind meld. Yeah, that was what I was talking about earlier with Cybok. Yeah, and and apparently, like Spock and Kirk are the only ones that actually are resistant to Cybok. Yeah, and eventually, Cybok ends up like reluctantly declaring a truce to Kirk, and because he knew that he would need Kirk's leadership experience in order to navigate the Enterprise to Sha Kari. Then eventually, like the Enterprise is successful in breaching the barrier, or by Claw's vessel, and then they end up discovering a lone blue planet, and then Cybok, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy then like journey to the surface of the planet. And yeah, Cybok called like well, to like his vision of God. Yeah, that is like a, a premise of this movie where like Cybok is trying to seek out God, like physically search for him. Like, yeah, this is a plot of a Star Trek movie. A Search for God. I mean, seriously, we had like a bunch of space battles with the previous movies, and then like we get a premise like this. I mean, yeah, yeah, it just shows like how silly and dumb this movie is. And as they're like, yeah, and then eventually like it's revealed that this vision of God is actually like another type of vision of Cybok or something. I'm not really sure what. And then like ends up like attacking like Kirk and Spock and people. Yeah. Yeah. And then yeah, then like the others are then just in doubt that God would actually inflict harm for pleasure on people and stuff. And then eventually, after Cybok realized like how foolish he really was, he then ended up sacrificing himself to combat the creature and allow everyone else to escape. And then like Kirk was like intent on stopping them, and then yeah, Kirk then ordered like the Enterprise and fire a photon torpedo at where they were, which had very little effect. And then Spock and McCoy ended up being beamed back onto the ship. But then, like, the Klingon vessel ended up attacking the Enterprise before Kirk could get transported back on aboard the Enterprise. And then, like, then the entity reappeared again, and then tried to kill Kirk again. But then, and the Klingon vessel ended up destroying it in a hail of fire. And then Kirk ended up being beamed aborted, or the Klingon ship. And then then Spock and the Klingon General Cord forced Kala to stand down and stuff, yeah. And then yeah, the Enterprise and the Klingon crews then just celebrated their new detente, and then yeah, it just ended with Kirk, Spock, and McCoy back in the Yosemite Park to resume their vacation, and yeah, they ended with them continuing to sing "Row, row, row your boat." Just that's how it ended. So yeah, so yeah, I'm sorry I really didn't really talk about the plot of this movie very well, but I mean it just yeah, I really just had very don't really remember a lot about it. I just really couldn't really talk about it very well. So I apologize if this review didn't seem very good, but yeah, the movie's not very good either. So, and yeah, it's just like really hard to remember a lot from this movie just because it's just really bad and bad jokes and a very like dumb premise, just oh, really bad movie. And quite possibly the worst Star Trek movie of the franchise. So, yeah, 1.5 stars out of 4, just, yeah. I really cannot really recommend watching this one. I mean, even if you are like a real Star Trek geek, don't watch this movie. So, just, oh man, I just really don't know what else to say. Just, yeah, bad movie. Alright, so yeah, that does it for a review of Star Trek 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, if you as much as you possibly could. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's all I really can say about this. But, yeah, luckily with the next one, we'll get back to the good one. We'll be talking about another good one. So, yeah, the next review should be better. Alright, but anyway, so, yeah, that's all I have to say for this review. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.